evening, everyone. My name is Tata Kononova, and I'm one of the teachers of the grade school Period Global, which helps you prepare for the IELTS exam. And today I'm going to tell you how to finally break this glass ceiling between band 6 or 6.5 for your IELTS essay and band 7. For quite a lot of people, this border, this obstacle seems unbreakable. I'm sure together we will manage. See, just a second. I will share my screen. I hope you can see it. And let's go. First, let's have a look at the marking criteria which the examiners use to assess your essays. You might already remember that they are task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy. They are all applicable for band 6 as well as for band 7. But the demands which they have are quite different. Though it's not always easy to understand how different they are, what exactly is different. Let's try to deal with them together. So the first one is task achievement. To get band 7, you need to address all parts of the task, which means that you should allocate the same amount of your attention to each point of the task. What can go wrong? You can state and explain the reasons, but just mention the solutions. Or you can dedicate quite a lot of attention to one opinion and virtually neglect the other. How to deal with it? First, try to make sure that your body paragraphs are dedicated, each body paragraph is dedicated to one idea. Secondly, you should make sure that your body paragraphs are of approximately the same length. And naturally, you have not only to state your arguments, but also explain and specify them, providing clear and logical examples. Have a look. The task for the essay is here, and it's causes and solution essay. Why is this the case? It's about causes, what can be done to improve the situation is about solutions. And if we have a look at body paragraph for band 6 essay, we can see that both reasons and solutions are mentioned in one paragraph. So first, museums exhibitions remain unchanged and the locals aren't interesting. To handle this issue definitely introduces solutions. To improve this, you should make sure that the paragraph is devoted only to the causes and that both causes or both reasons are explained. Sorry. The next point about task achievement says that for band 7, you need not only to present the ideas which are relevant to the topic, but you're also to extend and support them with clear arguments. While if you do not give clear explanations or your explanations are not adequate, you will get only band 6. That is why make sure that all your evidence and all your examples are connected with the argument, with the opinion which you state, and do not allow any contradicting arguments, because sometimes students state one point of view and then suddenly provide a piece of evidence which supports the opposing one. Or they state their opinion and they do give some kind of explanation, but this explanation is very vaguely connected with the argument itself. Have a look. The task is about whether the advantages or the disadvantages, whether the advantages of children's playing computer games outweigh the disadvantages of this phenomenon. And the author states that this is a positive trend more than negative, and gives such an explanation. Some youngsters start creating their own computer programs when they are still at school. It's really connected with children's playing on gadgets, but at the same time, it doesn't prove that the development is really positive. Have a look at a better explanation, at a better example. The majority of the school students who have constant access to such devices develop computational skills without additional training. That's definitely and undoubtedly a positive sign. The next point about task achievement says that you should present a very clear position throughout the whole essay. While if your conclusions are not very clear, or you repeat the same ideas all the time, then you will get only a band 6. Pay attention to this word, repetitive. The main error of students who end up with band 6 may be that they state one idea in the introduction, then they repeat without clarification or explaining it, or without specifying the same idea in the body paragraph and then restate it in the conclusion. Mind that the topic sentences of your paragraphs should specify and not just repeat your introduction. Let's have a look at the live example. The essay asks us to discuss both views and give our opinion. Here in the introduction, we can see the paraphrasal of the topic, which is good, but no opinion of the author is really stated. Then in the body paragraph, the phrase constant practice becomes persistent training. Inborn talents turn into inherited abilities. But the idea is absolutely the same. It's just restated using synonymic words and expressions. What to do? First of all, specify your opinion. For example, like this: I'm convinced that the role of the training is prevailing in reaching success. Then start your body paragraph with a topic sentence which gives explanations, which specifies why you hold this opinion. The next point concerns coherence and cohesion. And here, people, I want to emphasize once again that it's not only about using cohesive or linking devices. If you pay attention, coherence comes first. And coherence is about how your ideas are logically connected. All your words in the essay, all your ideas should be very clearly connected with one another, and all should work for explaining your point of view on the topic of the essay. And only then goes cohesion, which is really about linking your ideas with the help of lexical and grammatical means. So for band 7, you need to use diverse cohesive devices and do it appropriately. While for band 6, the use may be faulty, that is with some mistakes or errors, and mechanical. Again, the key word here is mechanical. It very often happens so that students start counting their cohesive devices. They somehow decide that they need to use 3 devices per paragraph or something like this. and they obey some kind of pattern which is really clearly seen. It's a faulty way. You should make sure that your linking devices help you connect your ideas logically, no matter how many you use, no matter where exactly you use them, at the beginning or in the middle of the sentences. Have a look at the example. Here you can immediately see the pattern. Firstly, in the beginning, at the beginning of the first paragraph. Secondly, at the beginning of the second. This is due to, and this is positive because, stating the reason at the beginning of the second sentence. For example, and for instance, for the third sentence. In Band 7 essay, you can see that there are fewer cohesive devices, but at the same time, coherence and cohesion is better, is higher than in the previous example. All thoughts are logically connected using linking devices, using referencing, we'll speak about it in a minute, and using pronouns. Speaking about referencing, you see that for Band 7, it presents a clear central topic within each paragraph. Such explanation may be a bit confusing, but have a look at Band 6. May not always use referencing appropriately. So to present a clear central idea, you need to use referencing. What is referencing? That's when you replace the words either with their synonyms or with pronouns to avoid repetition. And referencing should be grammatically correct, which means that it should be absolutely clear what word or what part of the previous sentence is replaced by a pronoun. Have a look. Here, the author repeats the word children, while it could be paraphrased quite well, and then the pronoun them is used in the sentence. But have a look. Them always replaces a countable noun in the plural form. If we have a look at the sentence, we have 3 such nouns: lessons, grades, and children. When we read such a sentence, we automatically decide that the word them refers to the word children because we connect the pronoun with the closest noun in the same form. But actually here, the word them refers to the word handwriting lessons. In the second paragraph, the mistakes are quite the same. It's not clear what the word they refers to, and at the same time the word it is used to paraphrase, to replace the whole phrase, the development of their fine motor skills. But grammatically this is incorrect. If you want to replace some part of the sentence, you have to use the demonstrative pronoun this, not it. It replaces only a singular countable noun or an uncountable noun. A much better example is here, where paraphrasing is used instead of referencing, so that to avoid confusion and misunderstanding, and the word this is used to replace the phrase. One of my favorite points is lexical resource. Very often students try to learn numerous lists of vocabulary and they get sick and tired of constantly trying to memorize numerous words, and finally they end up with Band 6, though they use a lot of complicated words. What is their mistake? It's not being aware of the style, that is, of the context where you can use this or that word, and not using collocations. You see, all the words which you use should be used according to the register, to the style of your writing. They should convey precise meaning. If you use paraphrasing, then the synonym should mean exactly the same as the word which you paraphrase. That is why when you look for synonyms, when you make up lists of words for yourself, you have to be sure you understand the context. Try to find not only the meanings, but examples, and make sure you find all things, all shades of meaning this word may have. Have a look at the example. The topic goes, many people think that the only way to have a successful business is to be good at maths. The topic is paraphrased like this. A significant number of people believe that launching a triumphant business requires mathematical skills. The word triumphant can really become a synonym for the word successful sometimes, but definitely not when we speak about business. And in the second paragraph, the example is even more interesting. The word humans is used to paraphrase the word people. Do not do this. It's appropriate only when you write about people and some other life forms like people and animals, people and insects, people and aliens. If you write only about people, avoid the word humans. Either use the word people again or try to find a contextual synonyms, like here, the word businessman, as the essay is about business. As for collocations, if the author were aware of the collocations and how often they're used, he or she would definitely know that it's more common to say poor abilities and not low abilities. Quite a similar example is the word embargo and prohibition, which so this one is not appropriate in the context, while this one is okay, even though it uses the word with the same root as in the topic. And here we have an example of one more common mistake. When a person uses a much general term, a much broader term, instead of using a specific one, that is when some suddenly becomes the majority, and cell phones are referred to as modern gadgets. You should understand that both synonyms are much broader. They are not as specific as the words used. Finally, goes grammatical range and accuracy. Here you see that to achieve band 7, you need to have a variety of different complex structures. It means that you shouldn't allow really short and simple sentences, and you shouldn't constantly repeat one or two grammatical structures. What to do? Join short, simple sentences together so that to make them complex, and make sure that sentences that go one after another do not have the same grammatical structure. Moreover, you should also check that the beginning, the first sentences of your paragraphs do not have the same structure either, because that's very clearly seen and it creates a feeling of repetitive grammar. For your band 7, you need passive voice, the expression there is, there are, infinitives and gerunds at the beginning of the sentences. Have a look at the real example. The pattern of these two sentences is the same. A noun, a modal verb, a verb. A pronoun, a modal verb, a verb. And two last sentences are definitely very short and simple. While the author could join the three last sentences together using a linking device, showing connection, and therefore boosting their coherence and cohesion, and using the infinitive of purpose to convey the meaning of the third sentence. An even better example. Here, the grammar is all right, but all sentences are in the active voice and the structure is again quite repetitive. It's the same. To make it more diverse, you can start your sentence with the infinitive of purpose to tackle this issue. Then you could use passive voice, and it's a nice idea to combine it with a modal verb. You remember that to use passive voice with the modal verb, you need the modal verb itself, the verb to be, and the main verb in the third form. Then use the expression there is, there are, and join the next part of the sentence with a pronoun. So you see that to achieve band 7, you need to convey your ideas, to write about your ideas logically and clearly. All your ideas in the essay should be very closely connected with the topic. You should dedicate the same amount of your attention to each point of the task, and you should be very clear and precise in using your vocabulary. As for grammar, that is achieved only through constant practice, as well as all other points. Thank you for your attention. I'll be really glad to answer all your questions after this presentation, and will be more than glad to see you among the students of our school. Good luck in your preparation.